Let's get it. Heart throb never.
Why no one wants a job. People don't want jobs today because, there's too much disrespect the workers experience. The pay is too low. Having to deal with co-workers that are less than everything, less than ethical, less than moral. And plus they do grimy stuff. But it's almost like the concept of a job needs to be overhauled. The typical corporations, they're not paying much money and they expect all of this time from you. The 40-hour work week. You've heard a lot of people talking about how the typical work week, it's not feasible or reasonable anymore in 2024. Because it takes too much time to do everything now, even though we have the technology that's supposed to speed things up. But life is moving so fast that 40 hours a week is a lot. And then, the pay, all the time. And that's just that 40 hours. Like the inflation is so high, 40 hours a week, most of the time ain't going to get it. So one job might give you 40 hours, but that's not enough money. So you have to pick up another job to make more money. So, most people are working, average 50 hours and up. And all depending on how strenuous the job is, how demanding it is, you don't have a lot of recovery time from shift to shift. We're not even talking about the amount of long shifts that people have to work, 12 hours. And if they're working 12 hours, maybe they have to go to another job, depending on the field. The nursing field, most people that work in medical and nursing, they can tell you that's grueling. Some security positions are grueling, depending on how they work in the shifts and all the walking and stuff that they got to do and tussling with, trespassers and all types of stuff, just and working in factories and warehouses and being on that concrete. It's tough for the corporate elite to expect people to continue working these jobs with the low pay and the disrespect that people have to endure. It just makes you wonder what this whole thing is about, because you'll have situations of, all right, let me give you the situation. Let's say in Texas here, there was an ice storm that happened a couple years ago, and nothing like that had happened as far as people could remember. And so it shut a lot of things down, and people couldn't get to work. The streets was just straight ice, at least 2 to 3 inches straight ice on the streets. You couldn't even drive on it. So needless to say, a lot of people missed work, when that happened. Plus there was no power. Now I'm gonna use myself as a reference. This place that I worked at, I managed to get to work the first day, but then the second day, because of the ice and everything, there was no power at my home, and the gate to the community I live in was frozen shut, so I couldn't get out. So there was nothing I could do. So I ended up calling off. But long story short, to illustrate the disrespect, with that being a one of a kind situation in Texas with that ice storm, these jokers had the nerve to give me an infraction for missing work with that type of a situation. And mind you, I don't miss work, but this is the type of disrespect that people are talking about as like, fuck a job and fuck y'all. Because it's like the more you give these corporations, the less they respect you. And then you have to think about you as a grown person. You got to ask these people when you can take time off. As a grown man or a grown woman, it's like getting permission from a slave master. Like, the more I really think about this shit is crazy. It's crazy. And then, people don't want to work jobs because, you don't stay one age once you get in, once you're born here, you get older. So you have people in corporate who have this thing of promoting inexperienced young people to high positions that aren't really qualified for the job. And then they'll place these people over older people who have the experience and the wisdom as to how to run, situations and manage people, but they'll promote these young people over them. And that's another, incentive for people to quit, to not want to work, because how do you expect older people to want to work at places under people that are younger than them and don't have experience? And even if they did have the experience, it's still the thing of somebody younger than you telling you what to do. Like, nobody is going to be dealing with that. You don't go to work and, work the way that you work to have somebody younger than you coming in telling you what to do. Like, nah, fuck that. And it's like I said, there's so many disrespectful factors of it. Then you have like the co-workers that, sabotage workplaces and work environments. And, you got the whole thing with the women now with people, well, not just the women, but hell, it could be men or women lying on you. And men particularly are saying to hell with a job. There's no way in hell that it's worth it. They prefer to go work for themselves or do something entrepreneurial, but the whole aspect of having a 9-to-5 job, people are over that. And it's not that they don't want to work. See, this is what society is trying to make it seem like people don't want to work. No, that's not it. People are seeing that them putting in all this time at these jobs, you going to work and it's taking all of your time, taking all of your energy. And when you receive your pay for all that time and energy that you put in, the pay is nowhere near worth what you put into it. And you have people that go to work every day, don't miss days, work every day all year for however many years, whatever, and they are still behind, what it is that they should have for a person that goes to work every day. It's to the point now where you got people who go to work every day and they're homeless with a full-time job or two because the rents are too high, the food is too high, gas for the car is too high, everything is too high, but you're supposed to give your time and energy so that these corporations can run, but you, which is the most important thing in your life, you as well as your children, if you have them, you're supposed to sacrifice all of that for something who will get rid of you at the drop of a hat. The wages for jobs hasn't and is not keeping up with inflation. You have people, like I said, who are working jobs and they're homeless, living in their cars and stuff. So have a job for what? They're society expects people to work 2 and 3 jobs to maintain the necessities. That nobody's with that, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear it. Ain't nobody trying to take shit from no whack ass boss or supervisor. Ain't nobody trying to deal with the myriad of different personalities that you got to deal with in the workplace. All the time it take to get ready to go to work. It's a lot of time, a lot of prep. Say you got to be at work at 6 a.m. For most people, you better give yourself at least an hour to 2 hours to prepare to go to work. And, that's not including the showering, if you eat breakfast, the getting your clothes ready, all the hygiene stuff you got to do, then getting dressed and the traffic part of it, all of that is accounted. All that takes time from you personally. Now, I'm all for people working and I'm all for work when the work is providing sustainability for you, but it's not providing that anymore. There's no reason that anybody should go to work, have a full-time job, and not have enough money to meet all of their necessary expenses. That's not what work is about. If it doesn't meet that, then there's no need in doing it. Period. That's just how I feel about it. There's no need in working anywhere if it's not going to allow you to experience upward mobility, because you don't get that time back. And if you're working a full-time job and your kids are lacking, your wife is lacking, your husband is lacking, you are lacking, your house is lacking with a full-time job, what's the point? That's why people are saying fuck a job. For what? If I'm going to struggle with a job, why have the job? So the corporations understand this, and that's why they bring in, I hate to jump into this, but they're bringing in illegals here so that they can pay them less money and continue to do what they're doing, because they know that Americans are typically like, to hell with this shit. Then forcing, you know, vaccinations and all types of stuff on you, threatening your job because you don't want a foreign entity, a foreign substance injected into your body, threatening you. So that's why nobody wants to work a job, man. Like, it's almost like they're like, whoever's in control of it all, it's almost like they are deliberately popping the support strings of this whole system so that it can fall apart. This country is seriously like unrecognizable now. But ain't nobody trying to deal with that shit. And there's, I've listened to a lot of people talk about why people don't want jobs and why they quit a job. There's so much stuff to talk about, but leave your comment as to what you think about it. I'm out.
Throb never.